welcome to another edition of Platform and Possibilities. I'm your host, Corinne Phipps Benjamin, and it's ever much a delight today to have with us Patricia Welsh, who is joining us to share just a bit about her journey, her love journey, through her first published book, or following her first published book, The Love Journey, the first book in the series, Finding Jane. Pat has followed up with a second edition. Patricia Welsh is an experienced writer of technical papers. In 2021, she stepped outside of her comfort zone and wrote her first novel, The Love Journey. Feeling at ease, she decided to commence the writing of a second novel in 2022. Notwithstanding some personal setbacks in that same year, she persevered after suffering from writer's block. Her stepping stones to the writing of her second book involved listening and learning from the critiques of her first book, joining book clubs, reading and listening to countless podcasts on self-publishing, writing and editing, all that to produce Is This Love, her second book in the Finding Jane series. Voila. Welcome, Pat Welsh. Thanks so much for joining us on Platform and Possibilities. You have some stories to share. How are you doing, first of all?
Well, I'm doing great, and thank you, Corinne, for having me again on your podcast. I guess, I don't know if you realize it's just over 3 years.
It is.
Since we sat together and spoke very candidly about the first book.
Yes.
Yes, so I am delighted to be here to discuss the second book.
Yes. And I do know that in the first series, it was a love story. And I recall that in Finding Jane, there were several themes that came out. Of course, it was about love, or it is about love. But I remember a lot. For me, Jerome stuck out as one of the stronger characters with the theme of being a friend suffering from Alzheimer's.
Yes.
And so that stood out for me. Also, I think there was some theme about death and loss. And
Yes.
at the end, that cliffhanger, the husband, Landon, I mean, that
Fiancée.
the fiancé, thank you for correcting me. That, I think, was the cliffhanger that you paused on, or you sat on for the last 2-3 years. And therein, you gathered your thoughts about how to move forward. I think one of the places, or one of the good places to start from is, how did you continue, given your writer's block challenge? How did you continue to write your second book?
Okay, so as you know, the issue of Alzheimer's, as I would have indicated to you in the first podcast that we shared, was in relation to my mom. She, in her latter years, she developed that disease. And so it was a tribute to her. And Jerome, who Jane is very close with, as a very close friend, and who she is basically looking out for him and taking care of him, so to speak. That is a continuation within the second book as it relates to the disease, my mom, and bringing awareness to the disease. So that is, in a sense, a tribute to my mom. But how did I continue? So I would have gotten the inspiration to continue from the persons who read the first book, because everyone was saying, I want to know what is going to come. And so that inspired me to continue to write. And then my personal challenge, my mom passed.
Right.
And so it took me a while to get back into the writing mode, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can recall there were 2 instances where I was in town in Bath there.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the first lady came to me and she said, "What is happening? I am dying to get to the second book, and you need to finish up, you know?" And then there was another lady. I went into a particular store, and similar demands were made on me. And I said, "Well, Pat, if you have readers out there who read the first book, you have to do something. You know, you can't really let them, keep them in a long state of waiting."
Right.
So that was, I would say, the push that caused me to continue after having that lull or that writer's block. And so I was determined to finish it.
Right.
I set a goal at the end of December 2024. However, I went just a little over
Mhm.
January, because I would have actually put something on Facebook that, wow, my manuscript for my second book is complete.
Complete. What
And
was so funny about that is that it came out. I said, "Oh, this lady's being strategic." It came out pretty close to Valentine's.
yeah,
So congratulations again. I first should officially say congratulations on this platform, because it is not for the faint of heart, of course, and it is a commitment that you made to yourself to to complete it and continue through the three rounds of your series. It's a trilogy.
yeah,
But one of the things you talk about is, yes, that people were asking for the book, and yes, you had your setbacks, but yes, you also had, the need to be scrutinized. So, or you felt there was criticism that was useful in helping you
yes.
get over the hump. Speak a bit about what you felt about the criticisms. I mean, where,
Well,
where, where did the criticism help propel you, or how did it help to propel you in writing the second book?
okay. So first of all, let me say that for me, feedback is a gift. It doesn't matter what type of feedback, it is a gift, because you want feedback to be given to you in such a manner that it makes you look at different angles, different possibilities, or it also basically indicate to you some of your shortcomings and ways that you can improve. Okay.
Mhm.
So I personally was happy for the feedback. And some of the feedback I received from the first book were as follows.
Mm.
You need to be a little more descriptive.
Oh,
Okay. When you get to an area where you're looking at a place or an area, make the reader feel immersed in that
in
area,
that particular place.
in
Okay.
that particular place.
Right.
Okay. Within the book, that one was a shocker for me though, because I'm a bit conservative. But within the book, there are some love scenes. And I asked that from my readers, you need to be a little more raunchy. I'm like, what?
So they wanted you to fork up some more excitement.
Yes, it was like, you need to put a little more,
Steve.
excitement when it comes to those love scenes.
Okay.
And wow, and here am I thinking, okay, and I said, okay, I'll try and do that. Then there was a question when I joined the Caribbean Book Club for the sit down. One of the young ladies said to me, you speak a lot about lessons you learned from your mom, but we haven't heard anything about your mom in the first book. And I said to her, just wait, be patient, because in my telling of the story across the series, I know that my parents would be brought in on the second book. And I
Hmm.
didn't want to basically say too much. So I tell her, just wait. And so my parents are brought in on the second book. And I got a lot of comments regarding the Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's, person said, I'm happy that you raised that issue, because this is an issue which persons don't talk about much, especially in the Caribbean, and it is something that seems to be very prevalent now. And
Right.
so it's not just old age, persons maybe not realizing that it is a disease of the brain. Your brain is
Right.
deteriorating, your brain is dying. And so your cognitive skills deteriorate daily. And I'm not sure if there would be eventually, I hope, but for now, there is really no cure.
Right.
So it gets progressively worse as
Hmm.
time goes on.
Right.
And one of the things that um, is very heartbreaking is for the caregivers, because it's your loved one that you're taking care of, and you are seeing the deterioration, and it is very heartbreaking. So
Right.
persons who maybe had parents or currently have parents or loved one or loved ones with that disease related to that aspect of it, the way how Jane related to Jerome, okay? There were persons who felt um, empathy. They felt very sorry for Jane, okay? And
Yeah.
then there were persons who basically, like you said, loved the cliffhanger. They wanted to say, wow, I just want to know what is coming next. So I would say that persons who read the book, their feedback, as I said, was definitely a gift, because I had different persons giving me different perspectives of
Right.
what in the book or what parts of the book appealed to them.
Right.
And
And that's important.
that was very important for me as a writer, because you write something, but everyone sees things and sees the world based on their personal experience, what they can relate to. And so what may stand out for you, Corinne, may stand out to somebody else, and it may not be the same thing. And so when persons come together and give you that feedback, it only builds your ability to reach out to your readers even better. And
Gotcha.
so, and so I was very, very happy for that.
That's wonderful. It's almost inspiring because it is that it's not that you have all the ideas or the best ideas about writing this particular book, and hearing from others ideas that could help infuse your writing and help improve it. That's a kudos, a win-win for you. It's International Women's Month, and we are celebrating women. This is a great time to celebrate this accomplishment. Do you think that you've gotten the support from women more so than men in this second book, in writing the second novel? Are you feeling a lot of support from women reading the book, or is it just people who want to support Pat's writing? What would you say?
I would say for now, based on the feedback that I have received, I would say more women.
Okay.
Um, I am not sure if it's because the book basically looks at a woman's journey to love, betrayal, and redemption. And I remember a young lady said to me, she hadn't read the book as yet, but she looked at the cover when I brought in the book, the first one, and she said to me, I'm going to get that book because that is my story. So
Okay.
I suspect that it may have appealed to women more, but I must say, not to leave them out, I did get a lot of feedback from men.
That's
Yeah,
good. That's good.
yeah,
Mhm.
a number of my male friends would have purchased the book. A number of my male colleagues would have purchased the book, and they also gave feedback as well. And so, yes, I got from both, but I would say at this point, for the second book, at this point, more women for now.
Okay. So thank you for that. How are you promoting the book? Are there any release parties coming? Any gatherings? How are you promoting?
Okay, so I have reached out to basically my social media base.
Okay.
So there is Amazon, the book is on Amazon as well. And so I've reached out to my social media base, and I would have indicated to them that the book is available on Amazon. So Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. Okay. I've also indicated to them, as I indicated to you, as we spoke before, feedback is the gift. So I made sure I indicated to them, once you read the book, please go on Amazon and rate it. Give me your honest opinion, okay? Because as I indicated to you, and as you would have indicated when you read the summary, it is something that I decided to do, basically to think outside the box, to step out of my comfort zone. So
Right.
I am learning as I go along, and you have to start somewhere, and you cannot start at a particular point and just grow without getting, the critiques, the feedback, the support, the acknowledgement. All of that comes together and help you to not only accomplish more, but in addition, you get a sense of, I am doing something which persons out there seem to enjoy. And so you continue. So I have done social media bit in terms of reaching out. I'm thinking further down to look at maybe doing a website, for the Finding Jane series.
Yes.
And yeah, so my brother told me he will be helping me on that because he is very technical. Okay.
Right.
But for now, it's self-promotion. I'm also thinking on maybe not doing a book launch in the face-to-face way as you normally do it. The first one, I had a book launch where I brought persons together at Palm Court,
Right. I
and we
remember.
had very good time, food, drinks, the whole program. But because the first one is out and the second one is of the same series, I was thinking maybe doing something virtually now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
virtually now. And so I have to work on that aspect of getting that together. I'm also looking at the local bookstores in St. Kitts. I already have my book at Bougainvillea.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Bougainvillea.
I've heard of it.
Yes. The young lady, she promotes local artists, Caribbean, not just in St. Kitts and Nevis, book,
Right.
arts, craft, poetry.
Yes.
Yes. And so definitely I would have reached out to them and let them know that I would have completed the second book.
Right.
Okay. And so I definitely would reach out to her in terms of taking some hard copies there.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, there are also two other bookstores in St. Kitts which I intend to reach out. There is Law's Bookstore and there is Harper's as well.
Happens. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Sounds good. The other thing I needed to probably touch on before we wind down, three series. Did we talk about how you knew that you wanted to produce three books? A trilogy? Did you know that it would be three and two? How did you determine that you want to write three books about Jane, about love, and some of the other themes that resonate, that are relevant to the production?
So when I started to put together my ideas
Mm-hmm.
for writing the book, I guess coming from my training in how I do technical papers, you,
Okay.
you structure it.
Very structured, yeah.
And so you basically set it out in a manner how you think you would like it to be. I would say how you want to write it in a manner for your readers, but also how you would like to tell the story. Okay. And the way how I started in terms of looking at how I'm going to structure the book, I would have started out by putting it together and looking at the series and recognize that the way how I want to tell the story, it will be best told in a trilogy.
Yeah.
And so from that initial idea, I have stuck with it. And so as I write from book 1 to book 2, there are ideas that will come that will help you to enrich the story, especially when you get the feedback. But I don't want to change from the fact that I've already agreed upfront
to tell a love story.
to tell the story and to basically look at it in terms of a trilogy.
Right.
We'll look at Jane's journey, touching both the love aspect of it, the betrayal, and also the redemption.
Right. Sounds fair. There's a plan there. And again, because of your background, your technical background, you're able to figure it out. So before we even, talk about the third book, what would you say your takeaway would be on the second book? What is it that you want readers to get from this book?
Well, in the second book, okay, so in the first book, as you recognize, Jane was very much in love with Landon.
Yes.
And her world came crashing down when he passed, or he had that unfortunate plane accident. In this book, basically, Jane went through a period of, I would say, blaming herself to some point.
Guilt tripping.
Yes, guilt tripping, not seeing the advantage for moving on in terms of getting into another relationship. And I think it's after the taunting of her friends, her sister, she decided to basically give love a second chance. And so she would have agreed to date Richard, which eventually turned out to be something more because she actually got married to Richard. However, she realized, as the summary of the story says, all that glitters is not gold.
Right.
So therefore, Jane is basically what the readers would see. She's learning some really hard lessons.
Right.
Only in life, relationship, but love.
Yes. Yeah.
So the readers can take from the fact that over that journey, Jane is basically learning quite a bit with her interaction with her husband. She's also learning forgiveness because her parents are now brought into the picture, and there is an element of forgiveness there. And so she's also learning as well that maybe at some point in time, she recognizes that she had to also forgive not just the parents, but also persons who are dear to her, like her husband, and she basically is not realizing that even though she is providing that support, she is forgiving him for things that were done to her. That is not the end of the story, in the sense that even though you forgive someone, that she is doing that. But if you read the book, you would realize that there are some things that she is not aware of. She's not aware of those things. And the book also brought in this second book, social abuse. Okay? And so it is something which persons maybe try to not talk about, but in the book, Jane sort of hid it. She didn't say anything to her close family. She only reached out to one person, but she never spoke to her dear sister about it, her friends, close friend, even her parents. So you get from the book a lot of emotions that permeates through relationships.
Wow.
In the book, why do women sort of hide that?
Right. Right.
You know? So that's what you're getting in the second book. It's like a taste to go forward.
Yes.
Of course, yeah. So
Yeah. And then eventually get.
why do we hide that? Why don't we? We are not the ones who basically we are the victims, but you find that we tend to keep it a secret.
Right.
Yeah. So all of that
That's good to know. I'm glad you shared that because
is
it
embodied.
excites, yes, it embodies the essence of what this particular edition represents. And again, themes coming out of this this iteration of the book, as opposed to what we already know came from the first one. It's something new coming here. Its second book talking specifically about abuse and the changes and challenges of love. And so I like that we talked about some of the takeaways, some of what to expect in the second book. And of course, as you said, it's available for sale on Amazon. Is it in e-Kindle format as well? I think it is. It's
Yes,
e-Kindle
it
format
is
as well.
an ebook and paperback format. Yeah, Kindle
Yes.
and paperback. Yes, it is.
Sweet. And so, Pat, as we wrap it up, I just really want to say kudos to you for just being so, for the perseverance in getting to this stage of your product, which is your book and the story and the message that, resonates within. I could only wish you the best and thank you for sharing this with us, sharing it with the world. Thanks again for joining me on Platform and Possibilities, and hopefully we will hear that the sales are going well, first of all, and that you'll continue to promote it and market the book for your own good, but also for the lessons that you teach or that you share in all the entire series of The Love Journey, Finding Jane, and Is This Love, your second book in the Finding Jane series. Bravo to you. Thank you so much. And of course, I give you a chance, if you have any parting words, I give you that opportunity to say a few words before we end our conversation.
Thank you so much, Corinne, for having me.
Yes.
Yes, I always admire women who actually lift other women, because that's what we are here to do.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to say you have been tremendous in lifting other women and bringing their talents to the forefront and helping them to basically embrace their talents and also to basically shine even brighter. So I am very grateful to you for that. I also want to say, shout out the persons who have purchased thus far the second book and those who have purchased the first book. I just want to say thank you for being with me in this journey as I continue to write the Finding Jane series. Look forward for the third book, and hopefully I won't keep you waiting for that long. And please, please, when you read the book, please go on Amazon and just give it a review. Let me know. Let me know. Because persons who read it, some of them are not close by where they can give me that feedback. But when I see you give me a 3-star, 4-star, or you write something, then I could say, well, hey, feedback is a gift, and the more gifts I way, the better it
Yeah,
is.
the more empowered you are. And that's what we talk about on this platform. It's about informing, sharing the stories, inspiring others, and empowering them by our sharing or giving that feedback. We're empowering you to be a stronger writer and inspiring those who read as well. And
Yeah.
other writers, of course, other authors who are, looking at what you're doing and are motivated to do the same. So know that your footprint is one that is valued, and what you're doing is also inspiring others. Bravo to you, and keep doing the work that you're doing.
And same here. And thank you so much. And I want to say, keep doing the work that you are doing in lifting up women around the Caribbean.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Patricia Welsh, author of the series Finding Jane, The Love Journey. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we thank you for joining us here on Platform and Possibilities. Until next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe on this channel, as well as on Facebook and on Instagram. And don't forget to go out and get a copy of Miss Welsh's book, Is This Love? From the Finding Jane series. Bravo, lady. Thank you. Thank you. Until next time, bye.
Bye.